So the Wolves dropped down one spot into the 11th pick, which is kind of a bummer. But every year there is a rookie that really surprises scouts and would go much higher in a redraft. And this year there is a guy who can do just that. KZ Akpala here mocked in the second round. Not really flashy advanced stats or anything, but intriguing size. And the tape really looks like it could really translate into the NBA. To start out, looking at his three-point shot, 37.5% on 3 attempts per game. It's a respectable number. Doesn't necessarily look like he's gonna be a really good shooter in the NBA, but you gotta be able to space out the floor and have guys guard you out to the perimeter, which is a good sign. Doesn't look like he's got the quickest release, but at 6'9.5", it's gonna be pretty hard to contest a shot. Now let's take a look at his defense.
I know I can guard the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5.
Okay, that's very interesting. But the first thing we can notice here is he's got a nice wide base, bends his knees, sits in a chair. Good defensive stance, really nice technique. And then you'll see that he really slides his feet really naturally and changes directions really nice, really fluid, flips his hips smoothly. The really interesting part is he's really being tasked to guard at the most difficult area of the court, at the top of the key against quicker, better ball handlers. So his lack of steals and blocks comparatively to other guys doesn't really alarm me. This is probably the most impressive on-ball defense you can ever ask for. And off-ball, this guy's length and reaction time is really gonna make him a great defender. Here he, in a snap of a finger, just covers like 6 feet of space with one step. And with Robert Covington already doing things like this guy can be another version of Rocco. And this guy can really turn steals into points quickly all by himself. Here he flashes some basketball IQ, seeing the switch and anticipating the pass. That's a 7'3" guy that he took the ball away from. Transition defense was a real problem last year, and here he shows us some hustle and chase down his block. And here he shows us some weak side rim protection ability. Also, defensive rebounding was a big problem last year, and here he shows us leaving his area and secures a defensive rebound over a 7-footer. But here's the part of his game that projects him to be much more than a 3-and-D player.
With your size and the guard skills, what's the biggest thing that you hope to take into that will give you an advantage in the league?
Just I can shoot over guys. I can shoot the 3. I can go by guys smaller and bigger. Get in the lane, play make, kick, facilitate.
Was that your biggest jump from the past 2 years, your three-point shooting?
For sure.
Being able to expand that?
Yeah, changed my mechanics a little bit and just excel.
What'd you do with that in terms of mechanics? What was the change?
Footwork, just not dropping the ball too low. A lot of guys like Trevor Ariza, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, how he gets after it on both ends. Just the size, he's a slasher and plays it really hard defensively. Smart too.
First of all, whoever his agent is needs to give him a better name than Trevor Ariza. He's not just a 3-and-D player with his guard skills, and with his size, I would probably give him a name like Giannis Antetokounmpo. Similarly to Giannis, he's got Nigerian roots, and as a late bloomer himself, he was listed at 6'8" as a freshman. Then he was listed at 6'9" as a sophomore, and just recently at the combine he was measured at 6'9.5". So tells me that actually he's recently has grown to that, because I don't know any team that would round down that 6'9" from 6'9.5" and wouldn't list him at 6'10". And even if he's done growing now, he's only an inch shorter than Giannis in height and length, and really puts him in the same size as Pascal Siakam. But yeah, it's really those guard skills that really make his upside so high, and him being able to just get by guys at will and attract multiple defenders, and capability of just finding the open man on the floor, which makes his game look a lot like Giannis Antetokounmpo. As far as team fit with the Wolves, this is an absolute upgrade at power forward over Dario Saric. KZ just gives you so much more athleticism and versatility and defense, and offensively he gives you a secondary playmaker next to Andrew Wiggins. And in the lineup with Okogie, Wiggins, Robert Covington, and Karl Anthony Towns, this could be the longest, tallest lineup in the entire league, giving them a huge advantage on defense and a big time opportunity to get a lot of steals, and probably totally moving this team into the top 5 defensively. And with all the additional defensive steals, you can have a really great transition offense team with either Wiggins or KZ running with the ball in transition, Josh Okogie leading the entire group, going for alley-oops, Robert Covington spacing the floor for transition threes, and Cat giving you the last option as a trailing 3. This team's pace of play could be probably one of the best in the league. And in the half court, KZ's ball handling ability and being able to find an open lane, and just his physical style, lowering his shoulder and just getting to the rim at will, and with his nice first step, he's just able to get to the rim at will. And he's not as explosive as Andrew Wiggins or as fast, but he's plays much bigger and stronger, which allows him to get to the rim a lot like Giannis Antetokounmpo. One interesting stat to note is the free throw rate of KZ Okpala, around 6 attempts per game, which was slightly higher than Zion Williamson. And it just notes how physical of a style this guy plays with. And also I thought it was an interesting fact, as this kid used to play football. He played running back, which kind of shows you that this guy is not afraid of contact, and he plays like it too. It seems like he really enjoys the contact and just finishing strong near the rim. Here he blows by lottery prospect Nasir Little and then follows up with the offensive rebound, finishing over the big man of North Carolina, which was the #1 team in the nation at one point. Besides the slashing ability, he also shows some craftiness in the paint and mashed up on a smaller player. I can see him being a post-up option, kind of a lot what Taj Gibson gave us the last couple of years. He's going to have to get a lot stronger, but at only just turning 20 years old, I can see him gaining a lot of weight. He's only listed at 210 right now. Anyway, let me guys know what you guys think of this guy and whether I'm crazy to think that he might have the highest potential of anyone in this draft. Thank you for watching and listening.